Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is October 20th, 2025, and the legal case against Javier Tebas has intensified as the CSD has elevated the case to the TAD. I'm going to tell you what those initials mean. Also, Barcelona scouts were spotted at a league match. And finally, the race begins for Gonzalo Inasio as Sporting CP have started to move. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin this video with the news that the legal case against La Liga's president Javier Tebas has intensified as the CSD, or the Higher Sports Council, has elevated his case to the TAD, or the Administrative Sports Tribunal. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I reported about this several weeks ago, but the guy to the left, his name is Miguel Galan. He's an attorney in Spain. He's the one who brought this to the attention of Barcelona, that Barcelona had a case against Javier Tebas. If you don't remember, the details are Javier Tebas revealed financial information of Barcelona when he posted on his Twitter page and on La Liga's website, stating that Barcelona did not have financial fair play margin because the VIP seats deal had not gone through. Then he revealed that same exact information to Athletic Club de Bilbao, which they used to convince Nico Williams to stay at his current club. And Miguel Galan, informed Barcelona that, hey, that violated the confidentiality rules of La Liga, and therefore Barcelona could bring a case or a complaint against Javier Tebas, and if successful, that could see the removal of Javier Tebas from his post as the president of La Liga, because he already has complaints against him from Real Madrid. Well, Barcelona did not do anything with this information, so Miguel Galan decided to act on his own. He brought his own case against Javier Tebas for violating the confidentiality rules of FC Barcelona. And now this case has been promoted from the Higher Sports Council, or the CSD, to the Administrative Sports Tribunal, or the TAD. Now you might say, Mo, what is the difference? I'll explain, don't worry. The CSD, or the Higher Sports Council, is kind of like the council that oversees the implementation of sports law all across Spain, not just in football. All sports in Spain have their own rules, and the CSD oversees those rules and makes sure that those rules are being enforced. Now, the case was initially brought to the CSD. Miguel Galan said, hey, look, Javier Tebas, we think he violated these rules. They looked at it and they said, okay, there might be a case here. So now they forwarded it to the Administrative Sports Tribunal, which is the equivalent of the court, right? This is the sports court, right? The CSD only oversees the rules. The TAD is the one that kind of holds the legal case. So now it's passed, the case against Tebas has passed the first phase, where the CSD thinks there might be something there, and they forward it to the tribunal, or to the court, to determine whether Javier Tebas is guilty of violating confidentiality rules. And if found guilty, well, he could be removed as the president of La Liga. Thank you, Miguel Galan, for bringing your own case, since Laporta decided not to. For what reason? I have no idea. Anyways, let's move on to the next bit of news, because Barcelona scouts were spotted at a league match. And this match was over this weekend between Marseille and Le Havre. Oh, oui, monsieur. Now, Marseille beat Le Havre 6-2 in the Ligue 1. And again, Barcelona scouts were spotted in the stands. Now, we don't know who these scouts were watching. They could have been watching a couple of faces. For starters, of course, Mason Greenwood, who currently plays for Marseille. As you know, Barcelona were linked to Mason Greenwood in the past 2 summers, but this did not happen because of the price. He actually had an impressive performance, scoring 4 out of the 6 goals that Marseille scored against Le Havre. So the scouts could have been there keeping tabs on Mason Greenwood, but they could have also been for this guy, Igor Paixão. I think that's how you say it. If you haven't heard of Igor Paixão, he's a 25-year-old Brazilian left winger who recently signed with Marseille. I think it was this summer, if I'm not mistaken. But a promising left winger out of Brazil. So the scouts, Barcelona scouts, could have been watching him too. Again, we don't know who they were watching, but we do know that Barcelona scouts were present at the Marseille match. Now, my question to you is, who do you think Barcelona scouts were watching? And do any of these names are a good fit for Barcelona? Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, speaking of signings, let's move on to the next player, someone who we've been talking about for some weeks, which is no other than Gonzalo Inasio, the 25-year-old left-footed center back who currently plows his trade at Sporting CP. As you know, Barcelona are currently monitoring the market for possible center back signings during this summer transfer market, and Gonzalo Inasio alongside Schlotterbeck are kind of like the two top names that Barcelona are interested in. And well, the new news is that Sporting CP, well, they're already making a move for Gonzalo Inasio. Now you might say, Mo, what do you mean making a move? He already plays for them. Well, Gonzalo Inasio has a contract until the summer of 2027. He does have a release clause worth 60 million euros. But of course, this upcoming summer 2026, he will be entering the final year of his contract. So even though he has a release clause worth 60 million euros, you can easily negotiate that down because, you know, it's his last year. It's kind of like this is your last chance to make money. If you don't want to sell him right now, well, the following summer he leaves for free. So even though he has a 60 million euro release clause, you can negotiate that down during this upcoming summer. However, Sporting CP have already started to make moves, and they're trying to extend the contract of Gonzalo Inasio, not only to put themselves in a better position to negotiate, because you no longer can bring up the whole, oh, he gonna leave free next summer. It's like, nope, he renewed. But they're also looking to increase his release clause to 80 million euros. Now, of course, we're gonna have to wait and see whether the player succumbs to this pressure to renew his contract, because if he does, well, that's pretty much done, right? Door closed, because Barcelona are not going to be paying 80 million euros. They cannot afford to. So the only way this signing is possible is if Gonzalo Inasio does not renew, and if Barcelona are able to negotiate something less than 60 million next summer. Now, speaking of defenders, we will end today's video with the news that happened a few days ago. I forgot to mention it, but I will mention it now. And it's concerning another defender, but this one already plows his trade at FC Barcelona, which is no other than Landry Farré, the 18-year-old right back, versatile right back. He can also play as a center back on the right and on the left, and he can also play as a left back. So he can occupy all four positions in the defensive line. Someone that's very promising. In fact, Hansi Flick called him up to the preseason. He participated in the preseason training. He did not travel with the team to Asia. He got sent back down to Barca Athletic, where Flick thought, you know, he still needed some polishing. Well, right now, Giuliano Belletti in Barca Athletic has been kind of taking the mantle, taking a job of polishing and helping Landry Farré grow and improve. And again, someone who is very, very promising, arrived in La Masia in 2015. And the news is that he has extended his contract until 2028. So definitely great news, because Barcelona have secured yet another promising player in La Masia. They've done a great job, by the way, of doing this. I think I probably reported on 15, maybe 20 different players that they renewed in La Masia. That's not even counting the players that we renewed in the first team. So good job to those in charge of La Masia for renewing all this young talent, because who knows, maybe one day we'll see some of this young talent in the first team. Anyways, that is all for this video. I did do the podcast earlier today. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Viscarsa.